So today it is on Tuesday, December the 3rd, 2019, and I'm recording this video for my EDUC 572 course, which was taken with Professor Cook at Eastern University. So I'm going to be reflecting on my thoughts about social studies and English language arts, all what I learned during these 14 weeks. Throughout this course, I learned a lot of things about teaching social studies and English language arts. During the discussion, I was impressed to read and exchange information with all my classmates. I have always had in mind that social studies and English language arts is important for all grades. But throughout this class, I learned in how to create a unit plan using any subject, but especially social studies and language arts. Before I began in this class, I was not quite familiar in how I could put different subjects together to form a unit plan. Well, I have to say that I had a little bit of base. I've been teaching for many years, but that we are not an expertise. We are always learning, we are always evolving, and we learn from others. And I was so blessed to have a great professor that provide me positive feedback all the time. A professor that clarified my doubts always, and classmates that they were there always in discussion boards, willing to help, giving those comments, in order for me to grow as a professional educator and as a human too. So I always tell myself that I'm constantly learning. It was my second course where I was asked to create a unit plan. Let me tell you, it takes a big time and a big effort to fit all the components of a unit plan. When developing the different stages and the lesson plan, I was able to observe all that can be achieved in this unit. So with this in mind, it takes time. It takes a big effort, and I always have to say that the most important things when creating a unit plan or any lesson plan is not just to put all those words in the paper, is to meet those objectives with the student, to teach that content in an appropriate way where students can learn. Another thing that I learned was about hyperduck and how they could be useful during a lesson. It was a quite easy way to get to the video or article that I want the students to read and watch. This really taught me a lot about my future as a teacher. Once you have everything into the lesson, it's like being a master of the field. That's how I felt every time that I did a lesson. So with the hyperduck, it was my second time creating one of my own from scratch. And let me tell you, it is so impressive. This hyperduck that I create for this particular unit plan, I will be using it with my first grade pretty soon, because I already talked with my digital teacher, who's the person that can be involved with us to help us reach those goals and master those objectives. I also learned to work in a team charter through this course to come up with the first lesson plan. I really liked the experience because we were all able to collaborate and come up with a great plan. So I worked with two great class mates. We did a lot of effort. We put our best ideas to get a lesson plan. This course also taught me how to become more familiar with the SAS standards. One of the objectives on the syllabus is to utilize the standard and identify various resources for instruction. So let me tell you, when I first started working in the school district 5 years ago, they just tell you this is your classroom, this is how it is, and that's it. So I had to figure out myself how to become familiar with the standards. Because in my country, we use content standard, but it's not like so rigorous like we do it here in the United States. So having the opportunity to be teaching for 5 years and getting all this coursework had really helped me to become a better learner in a way to search for the standards and the appropriate resources when it comes to create lesson plan. After taking this class, I really learned about the best places to find them and the way to use the standard to help my student. So this is all that I have like with the social study background, but now I will be talking about what are my big takeaways from this course. So the biggest takeaway from this course is that social studies and English language arts can be fun. I learned how important it is to follow the common core and to make sure that your lesson plan follow the standard that you choose for your lesson. As a teacher, I can teach my students so much that they can only stay engaged for so long. I also think one of the most important ways is to think outside of the box. If something is not working the way that I think, then I will have to try a plan B, but make plan B as fun as I can. Something that is reflected in my mind is to see how we use technology during this course for everything. Since day one, since our first discussion board, we were already using technology. And let me tell you, the first time that I took my first online course, I was like having like nightmares, anxiety, because I don't know what was going to be, what I was going to be facing. It was challenging for me, but now I feel like a master pro. I remember that I told my professor when I took my first course that like I moved here to the United States, I was requested to start my certification program from scratch. And English is not my first language, but I always do my best. And let me tell you, all these videos that I have to post, where I have to reflect on my own and reflect about other colleagues, really helps a lot. From working in a group, doing a hyperdoc, creating lessons, making demonstration videos, in short, all using technology. So I have to adapt, accept, and learn that everything is evolving, that we no longer use traditional teaching method, that we are educating for the future. I think that technology is important for every person today, because we have technology in cell phone, we have an iPad, we have a computer, we have everywhere. So technology is so popular that every student goes home and uses technology in one way or another. There are so many ways to use technology and so many ways that students could learn to use it other than watching a video. They could be able to play an interactive game on the computer or iPad to help them engage in what they just learned. Another way that I will stay current in my classroom is by using another type of technology. The student can use social media every day, so why not to use it in my classroom? Social media is something that is used every day, so in a classroom, I was thinking that right after I took all this, I did all these videos and seeing that technology is in every moment, in every place, in every classroom. I was thinking that it would be a good idea to create a Twitter or Instagram as a class if parents say yes. Like I did in my hyperdoc, that students were creating a free program. So it was a good idea to have this and to have students like come up like in a certain day, someone can be the news reporter and we can be informing what is happening in the classroom. I will have one student to be in charge of it for the day. They will be given a certain amount of time to use it. On the social media platform, the student will have to make a post about what they learned and they could follow their parents or teachers. You know, everything with parents concern and also with the school concern, because media sometimes like it is, some people take advantage and sometimes it's not useful the appropriate way, but I will make sure that my students use it in a correct way where they can benefit throughout their learning in every day. They will have to then post a sample of what they're doing in the class and come up with a caption to post. And that would be nice because I didn't wrote it, and I never told anyone in the course, but I'm in charge of newsgram in my bilingual group, where we have all the news, where students, I'm sorry, post like things that are happening in the month. And it is called Juntos Crecemos, like Together We Grow, but it's in Spanish, where we post like birthday, like celebrations that we have, like any PBIS activity. How is the weather for those days? And we post like trips, like field trip, like what happened when we came back, things like that. And it's so nice. Students are engaged. Parents receive it monthly with the school calendar, and it is very useful. We also post the teachers' emails where they can find us, if they have any concern and all that. So I think that technology is important when it's used correctly and with a meaning in the classroom. So another question that is asked in my reflection is how I will stay current in my teaching practice. So for the effectiveness, I must keep up to date with content with constant changes in curriculum and assessment modalities. It also helps me to promote high standards of work and have high expectations for the student that I assist. It is essential to subscribe to network opportunities, webinar workshop, subscription to professional magazine, and boot camps that are offered by the school district to whom I work, subscription to email newsletter related to education. While continuing professional development, I'm assuring to continue to be competent in my profession. Content professional development helps to stay interested in new opportunities for new knowledge and new skill area. As a teacher, I will use the best practices where I include a balanced curriculum, teach and differentiate the instruction to meet individual students' needs, and provide each student with many opportunities as possible to learn. As a teacher, I will always look to educate myself. Moreover, taking professional development helps me and allows me to reflect and develop traits enabling me to succeed in my classroom. In order for me to stay current, I will continue to take professional development in my work and out of work. So I have to stay updated. Like I mentioned in one of my posts a couple of weeks ago, that for me, staying current in my teaching, it was like being in the fashion, being fashionable. Because every time, like, fashion is evolving, is changing. So the same thing with the teaching, with the professional aspect as a teacher. So I have to be like, on date, up to date, being able to take all the courses that are offered, and always be open mind to do that change for the best of my student and for the best of myself as an educator. I want to thank you, Professor Cook, for equipping me during these 14 weeks with the best tools to continue my journey as an educator, for providing me the necessary tools to start accomplishing the impossible as much as possible. I want to say thank you. I was able to learn so much throughout this course, and I wish all my colleagues the best in their journey. And it was a great pleasure to take this course with all of you guys and with the professor too, that if I have to take another course and I have to search, without any doubt, I will choose Professor Cook again. Okay, so thank you. It was a pleasure being in your class. I really admire you as a professional, as a teacher. You dedicated the enough time. As I mentioned prior, you were always there giving us positive feedback. Is that what we need in our world? People that are compromise, and not even compromise. People always to give, available to give a hand, to help others grow. So I feel that I was blessed throughout these 14 weeks, and I feel that I accomplished all my objective during this course, and it was great to be in this class. Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a blessed day. Bye. I'm sorry for the ring bell, but because I did this recording in my job early in the morning. So thank you so much. God bless everyone. Bye.